beautiful, nice little tank. No, it's evil. It's evil. It's a nasty fantasy tank. But I want it. It's very good. It's nice. No, look at it. It's stupid fantasy thing. No, but I want it. It's so nice. It's my own. It's my precious. Yes, hello guys. This is Super Schnitzel König, and this here is the Edelweiss. It's a nice little tank. I'm gonna do a little review and then we're gonna show some gameplay. And the Edelweiss, it's one of my favorite tanks, even though one shouldn't like it because it's a nasty, evil fantasy tank. But come on, look at it. It looks pretty nice for a fantasy tank. It's not, doesn't have that stupid look like a Lupus or a Helsing or whatever. It kind of looks like a tank, and I really like it, and I think many people would really like it just because of it, how it plays, because it's very good. If you ask me, it's one of the best all-round tanks there is, and I'm gonna show you in this video why I think so. So, why do I think the Edelweiss is such a good tank? I think it's a perfect all-rounder. It's probably the best all-rounder medium in tier 7. It's a tank that is not perfectly good in anything it does. It's like, it has not an outstanding gun like a Panther, or it does not have outstanding mobility like a Dracula, but it's simply good in every aspect, good or very good, and it almost has no weaknesses, and that's why I think it's a very nicely balanced and round up tanks. And if you look just very briefly into statistics, this is by the way a very nice site, blitzhangar.com, and you can see this small number to the right is how it's ranked among tier 7 mediums. So we see it's mostly somewhere in the middle. Okay, the view range is excellent, but most of them will be somewhere in the middle. And what you see, what is a bit outstanding, is the alpha damage, which is very nice, 225. The penetration is not great, 150 on the AP and 210 on the APCR, but it's good. I mean, it's better than a Comet, it's better than a T-33, so it's pretty decent. Aim time is excellent, dispersion is okay, dispersion when on the move is okay, all this stuff. The gun depression is pretty nice with 8 degrees. Turret traverse is okay. The speed is pretty good. You can see the effective power to weight is actually very good. It's around like third or second best. So a pretty solid tank in almost every aspect. And if we look at the armor, you can see that even the armor is pretty decent. Especially the turret, it has this very nice angles on both sides with a very thick gun mantlet. You can see this, you can't possibly penetrate the gun mantlet. If you have the turret size, they have almost 200 millimeters of effective armor, and they will also be an auto bounce. So it's a pretty nice, like, the turret is really, I mean, there is this small weak spot of the commander's hatch, but you really, no one will hit it. It's really almost impossible. So the turret is very strong. You have the frontal armor, it has this weird little rounded shape, but if you angle it up, you will get around 180, 190 degrees, or on the upper part even 250 millimeters of effective armor. So that's something you can really work with, that will bounce a lot of mediums on the same tier. And you even more, you get this spaced armor on the side, which is a bit unfortunate because it doesn't cover all the sides, so you can try to side scrape, but it's okay. I mean, don't expect to bounce too many shots, but it can do that as well. So you can see the armor, it's not super hard, a part of the turret, but it's very decent. It's kind of like the Russian mediums, the T-43 or the Rudy, or maybe a bit like the Panther. It will give you the occasional bounce, and that's already quite nice for a medium. So anyway, let's get to some gameplay. By the way, just for optic comparison, I mean, look at the Edelweiss and look at the monstrosity that is the Lupus. I mean, how can you not like the Edelweiss after you see that? So anyway, let's get to some gameplay. I'm gonna show you a few games that I did in it, I recorded in it. There are consecutive gameplay, so it's not only wins or only masteries, or it's just the way I play it. There is going to be a mastery, like this game is going to be one. But yeah, there are also going to be some, let's say, more regular games. So anyway, you see, I start this game. It's on Dynasty's Pearl. I try to get some early spots. You see this thing, it's pretty mobile. I go to this bush and try to get some spots. Unfortunately, I get spotted myself, but I can still shoot. You can see, like, with the pretty decent gun depression, I could shoot the Dracula, and now I'm using the gun depression, the full 8 degrees of gun depression, to perfectly safely stand here and shoot the enemy. Well, but mostly I'm missing. I'm shooting the ground. But now look, I mean, it's impossible for me. This is, I think this is one of the strengths of the Edelweiss. You can see I'm angling slightly up, so even if my frontal armor would show, they would most likely bounce. But other than that, I'm just playing it hull down, and I think that's the biggest strength with it. You can see also the pretty nice high alpha. That's one of the main qualities this tank has. And now, because like there's quite a stalemate on the right flank, I use the mobility of this thing to clear the left flank. I get surprised by this AMX, who shoots me for 200 damage, and then there is this KV1S, who is luckily not the best player. So I managed to circle him. You can see how nimble the tank is. It's very, very nice in terms of mobility. The high alpha is good. Here I'm superbly lucky that the KV1 misses me, probably had lag. And then the AMX comes, so you can see I'm pretty fast even when reversing. So I have no problem at all to get away from this AMX, who is quite a mobile heavy. So here I'm again in kind of a hull down position. So I can rely that the enemy is not going to pen me, and I can really do some nice peekaboom well, let's say peekaboom, because I have this high alpha. The Dracula comes, I ram him, which was not the best idea because the Dracula is very, very heavy. But you can see the Edelweiss is also a pretty decent rammer. So as I say, it's pretty good in everything it does. And DPM, you can see, I mean, the AMX has a fantastic DPM, but yeah, he cannot possibly out DPM me, and that's already almost the whole game. Now we can just do some sniper shot. You can see the dispersion is pretty okay. It's not a Panther 1, but it's decent enough to reliably make these shots that I'm doing right here. We destroyed the Tiger, and that's the game. So pretty nice game to start. You can see how versatile this tank is. We could do some hull down in the middle of the map. We could do some close quarter fighting, which is pretty good for a medium, which is mostly because of the great alpha it has. And yeah, I think it shows how good this tank is, in my opinion. I mean, it didn't feel like an amazing game, and yet we managed to do 3,880 damage and 5 kills. It was a bit lucky, I have to say. 1 or 2 shots. I mean, the KV1S missing me, phew, that was luck. So let's get to the next game. It's on Vineyards. We are high tire again, and this is going to be a game that's less good, but yeah, what I always like to do on Vineyards when I'm in a medium or generally in a tank that has a good turret, I try to spot the middle around the cap area. So this is what we are going to do right now, and it's also an area where we can use the strength of the Edelweiss, the good turret and the decent gun depression, and yeah, let's see how that goes. So you can see we are pretty fast, 50 km easily reached in this terrain. We speed to the middle, our team goes to these ruins to the right of the map, but we think we have 3 heavies behind us, so we have decent amount of support. We can see, the view range is excellent, as we could see in the stats, and there's a T-43 who misses, but even if he would have hit, I mean, my hull was mostly covered. So you can see I try this angle when I'm here, because I know when they see something, they will usually see my upper front plate in this very, very severe angle. So that's why I'm driving like this. But okay, I'm going a bit too far. They managed to hit me, but now look, I mean, he has no chance. Look, he tries to aim for me, but he has no chance to pan me. So I shoot and try to keep them off, but now I get rushed. But I think, okay, I have 2 heavies behind me. It shouldn't be a problem, but well, never rely on your teammates. They rush me, basically. They don't get shot by my heavies. I get shot from all over the place. I managed to take out the Kuromori, and then he sets me ablaze and they take me out. What did happen? Well, the heavies that I was relying on were this Kuro, who is, well, okay, and especially this G29, who is just an absolutely useless player. Look at him, he's just waiting here. Oh look, why should I drive? I can snipe with my excellent gun. Let's just snipe. Oh look, they bounced. Lucky me. Oh look, gone. So anyway, yeah, we lose this game. I didn't want to show you the sad thing that was the rest of this game. Yeah, look, the T-29, I mean, you should... the mistake I did in this game was I relied too much on the heavies behind me to support me, and yeah, when you expose yourself like I did, you can always get rushed. Yeah, shit happens. That's how you lose games. But you could see, I hope you could see at the beginning at least how strong the Edelweiss is in such a position when you're not getting rushed. You can really outplay almost any enemy tank because it has such a strong turret, it has decent gun depression, and the alpha is also very nice, so you don't have to peek too much. So next game, Lost Temple, and another, like in the Edelweiss, when you have to choose where to go, you can go anywhere. Because it's such a versatile tank, it could go left and do easily well on the medium side. It can go right and do pretty well on the heavy side, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get to these stairs, because I know, again, I have a good turret, I have a pretty decent frontal armor. So I'm pretty small, I forgot to tell about that. It's a pretty small tank, there's a small profile. So it's also not, it can hide pretty nicely here behind this stairs up there. So you see we're pretty fast, we're gonna go up here, we bounce very unlucky on the Tiger, put on adrenaline and start shooting it. You can see the angle of the tank, it fits perfectly to this pedestal, let's say. So we have a unfortunate ghost shell on this KV-1S, but we keep shooting him, and you can see the pretty decent DPM it has. We try to look at the other side, and I mean, look again, I mean, how stupid was that shot? There is one small area on the front of the Tiger that I couldn't pen, and that's where I hit. And then the Panther goes through to the left, and unfortunately our heavies at the back of me are just waiting somewhere in the back for their team to die. So the Panther over there is going to hurt us a lot. The Tiger, we can shoot him again and again. I mean, actually it's a very strong position, but now we start getting surrounded. So I mean, in any tank you have a problem when enemy tanks are starting to appear behind you. And now look, now we are getting shot from all sides, and we missed this for whatever reason. You see the KV2, he shot an AP, he bounced on our upper front plate, but it's not enough. The Rudy did well, but look what the KV1s were doing. I mean, nothing. And of course we lose this as well. And yeah, unfortunate game, but it's really, I mean, when you go up there, like even if you're heavy, if you're not there, it's really important to secure the flank of the guys who are on this monument, staircase, whatever. Because if you don't do that, they will die and you will lose. So anyway, next game, it's on Port Bay, and usually in a medium, when I'm on Port Bay, what I like to do is going right, going to sea, going over this river and then shoot the enemy from over there. But as we almost have only heavies in our team, I decide, yeah, I'm in an Edelweiss, I can fight in the town because I have a good alpha, I have a good pen, and I'm fighting against tier 6 enemies. So I'm pretty aggressive. I can see they are taking C, so I guess there won't be too many tanks in town. Yeah, it's a bit risky what I'm doing, but I like, yeah, sometimes I just like playing aggressive, especially when I'm high tier. So I go all the way around. Oh, that's what shouldn't happen. Always have enough battery. By the way, I'm not going to talk all the video, don't worry. I'm just, yeah, I will reduce the talking once when I feel like doing that. So we see our guys in town get rushed by the enemy, and I know I can do peekaboo in this thing, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. So ARL, nice 216 in your side, and again another nice from behind, and now this VK28, he has absolutely no chance in terms of DPM, especially because he has not the top gun. I ram him because I'm a good rammer. You see the upper front plate, how it will produce bounce if you angle it correctly. Here it comes again, another 213 shot, and goodbye, Mr. VK. This, I have no idea how this MG penned. It was superbly lucky. The KV2 is coming, he wants to take me out, but again, I have a nice high alpha. He cannot shoot me, I tracked him, and he's goodbye. I can see he's not aiming at me, and he goes. So, that's our second kill. And you can see how effective it is, even in such a town situation. Because of this high alpha, it's just a good peekaboo tank. If you remain in cover, of course, you shouldn't go out of cover as I'm doing it right now, but luckily this AMX gets taken out as well. And now, what I've been saying before, this thing is also a pretty decent rammer. The Cromwell has absolutely no chance of surviving this. And this game is already over. We have 2 caps, and I have a hunch that probably the last heavy of the red team will be AFK, so I speed over there to their spawn to try to yeah, get some more damage. It's always a good thing when you have a tank and you think it has not been active at all during the whole the whole game, and you know this is going to be a win, then just go to their spawn, and yeah, very often it's going to be their AFK doing nothing, and I think they should be punished for not supporting their team. So I just take him out. Not interesting. A HE in the back, low roll, but who cares? And goodbye ARL. Another low roll. Those are really low HE rolls. Well, who cares? So 5 kills, a lot of damage in a situation that usually isn't very suited for mediums. I mean, you don't want to go there in a medium, but the Edelweiss can do that. The Edelweiss is great. So next game, this is going to be a tier 8 game, and Another very interesting one, because there is a very good player in the enemy team, the STA1 from the clan Hate. So I'm going to be a bit extra cautious of that guy. But you will see again how great this little tank works. As usual, when I'm not sure how many tanks, like they have a few mediums, but not sure if they're going to come our way, I try to do first spot here to see, aha, okay, no, they are coming this way. Also to show our team that they're coming. So now what I'm doing now, I'm waiting here. I want to be unspotted again before I cross this part here, because otherwise I will yeah, get side shots, which I really don't want to. The RU has pushed far too aggressively over there, so I'm going to try to support him to yeah, like make the enemy not rush him. And you can see the accuracy of the gun is pretty decent. This T-34-1, I don't know why it's rushing him, it's really stupid. And the RU gets saved. Lucky for him. And some nice damage for me. And now you can see again, I'm in this position which I really like in the Edelweiss, like in this 45 degrees angled hull downish. It's, I mean, it's something, it's the same kind of like you use in the T43 or in later in the German mediums, in the E50 and the E50M. It's actually, in playstyle, it's not that different from an E50. Or maybe even the E50M. I mean, the armor is not as good, of course, but it's a bit more nimble, and the DPM is very, very good. So you can see I'm working here, I'm doing damage, but I know this STA1 is there, and I want him to have him. I want him out of the way. As soon as I don't have any shots anymore over there, from the sniping shots to their spawn, I go to the STA1, and I know we are several tanks here, so I really want to take him out. Especially because I know he's a good player. Unfortunately, the Tiger comes here. We bounce again on the same spot as we bounced in the 2 games before. Annoying. Whatever happened here, I don't know where this shot went. So sometimes RNG loves you, sometimes it simply doesn't. So we are now, you can see again, we are using this ridge. I mean, this is something, it's perfect to learn driving Russian mediums as well, because you, in Russian mediums, of course this has better gun depression, but you will be working ridges like this all the time. And you can see there is absolutely no chance for this Tiger, that's why he's rushing me. He has no chance to pen me. And this is the beauty of the Edelweiss playstyle, and I don't even have to peak so much, because again my alpha is pretty decent. You can see the, okay, I use APCR for the kill shot. The Löwe, no chance to pen him, but APCR 210 penetration is fine. It's enough for most tier 8 tanks. Yeah, this was a bit unnecessary, and I can see the STA1 is a one shot over there. Now he's not spotted anymore, but now that I spot him, I use APCR because I don't want to bounce again on his turret and take him out. So the 2 tanks left in town. I know the ISU is pointing towards the other guy, so I just go and take him out. The Löwe is a completely useless player. I didn't know that by now, but I mean the whole game he's the last surviving guy, and I think he has 0 damage. I don't know, maybe he has massive lag, or he's just completely useless. I mean, Löwe player, unfortunately, that's what gives the Löwe such a bad reputation. But we have indeed another mastery. We did shoot a lot of APCR, so you can see credits are not great, but you could also see that with APCR you don't have the problems some other tier 7 mediums or lights have, that penning tier 8 tanks is very, very difficult because you have this 210 millimeters pen on the APCR. So another reason why this, I really think this tank is just such a good package. It's really, I don't, maybe you can write in the comments if you think there is something this tank is particularly bad at, because I really think it has no weaknesses. I mean, It's probably not overpowered. It's not a Dracula because it just doesn't have this crazy speed and tracks that repair within seconds. But I think it's probably not much behind it, and I think everybody talks about these usual OP suspects, but I think the Edelweiss is just as good as almost anything else. So this is going to be a very interesting game, and it's also going to show like, another quality this tank has, but it starts extremely badly. I do some stupid things. Like the guys are here on the ramp, so I try to shoot them. Bad idea. Luckily, I can go back before they shoot it, but there is a panther over there sniping. Okay, I mean, you shouldn't do what I'm doing now, side scrape against the panther. The panther has just too much penetration. And of course there is something else over there, and then the IS-3 comes and shoots me, and I have 35 hit points left after, how much? A bit more than a minute. So major fail for the beginning, but at least I'm alive. So what you do when you have 35 hit points left, you go back and try to go into a position where you can rethink your choices. This is what I do here. So I see, okay, there is a green guy up there fighting a lonely fight against the bulldog, so I'm gonna support him. I'm going again, you can see I'm driving to this 45 degree position at this slope, so the bulldog cannot penetrate me. This is a bit risky. I'm just hoping I'm not spotted, because otherwise you shouldn't do that. Now I am spotted, but I managed to do a shot. Luckily, obviously the bulldog wasn't looking into my direction, but yeah. Going back here, chilling, waiting for the bulldog to be spotted. I mean, if I'm dead, what use I am. So I'm waiting, and my team is slowly dying, so I think, oh well, okay, this game is probably lost. Panther is there, one shot, perfect opportunity to come out again to do something with our team. And now the bulldog is spotted. Now I see, okay, he's not a danger. I shoot him, make him a one shot. I take APCR not because I don't think I can pen him, but because it's much faster. So yeah. If it's a long distance shot, I want it to fly really fast when the enemy is moving. So now, the IS-3 there is getting rushed by 2 tanks. I cannot help him because they will take me out very fast, so I'm not sure what to do. What shall I do? What shall I do? Because if I go there, I will die very fast. I wish the IS-3 moved a little bit back so I could support him, but yeah, can't do that. So I decide, no, I'm gonna go back here and wait for them once the IS-3 is taken out. But hey, there is a the bulldog is there, my dear friend, the bulldog. I can take him out. And now I tell him, I write him in the chat, go back, go back. So this happens. This was exactly what I wanted to happen. The IS-5 has come all the way, so I can shoot him from this covered position, or bounce, and luckily the IS-3 face hugs him, so I have clear shots on the target. And so we are still alive, we still have 35 hit points. We did 3 kills by now with 35 hit points. So you can see sometimes it's even if the game starts horribly, it's good if you don't give up, and we win this very, very tight game with 4 kills. I mean, I think we didn't do a lot of damage. Let's see. It's yeah, 1960. It's okay, but we really helped this team. So this is it for the guide part of this video. Now I'll just leave you with some gameplay uncommented, so I finally shut up. There is going to be a few more pretty nice games. I think there's going to be another mastery, So if you want to see that, just keep watching. To conclude, this tank, as I said from the beginning, it's a very, 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 very good tank. It's, in my opinion, one of the best tier 7 mediums. Is it OP? It's hard to say. There's so few of those that it's hard to say how good it is as an enemy, so I can't really say if it's OP or not, but it's definitely on the brink of being OP. I would say it's not, like, it's definitely as good as most of its more famous tier 7 colleagues like the Rudy or the Type 62. This thing is as good as those are, and it's a perfectly balanced tank. It's in terms of its characteristics, it can do anything you want, and this is why it's an archetypical medium. It has all the characteristics that you want from a medium tank in World of Tank Blitz. It's quite rare, so if you drive it, people won't know exactly what to do with you, which is also a advantage. So it does pretty decent credits, not superb, it's not a Löwe or a T-34, but for a tier 7 medium tank it does pretty nice credits. And yeah, in my opinion, if this thing is on sale again, and it surely will be eventually, I can highly recommend buying it. It's very good, it's a lot of fun. In my opinion, it even looks pretty cool. And for me, it's absolute recommendation. So guys, enjoy the rest of the movie, the rest of the gameplay. Thanks for watching, thanks a lot. If you liked this kind of guide, gameplay mix that I did here, please leave a comment or write into the forums. If you think the whole matchmaking is rigged and that I'm only a protected player, then please write as well somewhere in the comments. And other than that, just enjoy the movie, and thanks for watching, guys. See you.
Another one like that should finish them. That one didn't go through. Let's get this show on the road. Nice shot. Enemy vehicle destroyed. The main gun is damaged. We can't fire accurately. Enemy armor is damaged. They're hit. Enemy armor is damaged. We didn't even scratch them. Nice shot. Penetration. They're knocked out. Enemy armor is damaged. The truck is damaged. Critical hit. We didn't penetrate their armor. Looks like that one went right through. Nice shot. Enemy armor is damaged. Critical hit. Got him. The loader is dead. Rate of fire is slow. Nice shot. Punched right through their armor. Time to roll out.